Soten hama hila iradu pravia nudename eterega tibibaykuviya iradu pravia beru kuraname amala baha iradu pravia aunuge abaduslimawana
Creating a news agenda that reflects an unbiased view of Asian current affairs without relying on external news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.
Hello and welcome to AVN News. I'm Mutma Mahmoud, your host for the evening. For the next half an hour, I will bring you news from the last week. As the Israeli military campaign in Lebanon is now in its second week, dozens of people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes targeting residential areas in southern Lebanon.
In the Ain al-Dalb area east of Sidon, more than 40 people were killed and 70 others, including displaced people from villages in southern Lebanon, were injured in an Israeli strike that targeted the 4-story apartment building where they were living or sheltering on Sunday afternoon. Rescue teams have been continuing the search for missing people under the rubble. In the southern Lebanese city of Tyre, Israeli warplanes carried out airstrikes on Saturday and Sunday, targeting a residential area near Hiram Hospital and another in Masakan neighborhood. The Lebanese Ministry of Health announced that at least 105 people were killed and 359 others were injured on Sunday in Israeli airstrikes on Lebanon. In one airstrike in Beirut on Monday, Israel assassinated 3 leaders of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, including the head of the Military Security Department and a member of the Political Bureau, Muhammad Abdel Al.
Iran's Armed Forces Chief of Staff Major General Mohammad Bagheri threatens to repeat Tehran's attack against Israel and target its infrastructure.
Speaking on state TV, Bagheri said the operation would be repeated several times stronger if Israel retaliated against a missile attack by Iran earlier on Tuesday evening. He said that if the Zionist regime that has gone crazy is not controlled by America and Europe and wants to continue these crimes or wants to do anything against the sovereignty and territorial integrity, the operation will be repeated several times stronger and all their infrastructure will be targeted. He further added that Israeli citizens were not targeted even though it was totally possible. Iran fired more than 180 ballistic missiles at Israel in retaliation for Israel's campaign against Tehran's Hezbollah allies in Lebanon, and Israel vowed a painful response against its enemy. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Iran's missile attack on Israel failed at the start of a security meeting in Tel Aviv on Tuesday night. Rockets lit up the skies over Jerusalem on Tuesday after Iran fired a salvo of ballistic missiles at Israel. Alarms sounded across Israel and explosions could be heard in Jerusalem and the Jordan River Valley after Israel piled into bomb shelters. A senior Iranian official told that the order to launch missiles at Israel had been made by the country's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The official noted that Khamenei remains in a secure location.
Chinese and Russian naval forces successfully concluded their joint drills codenamed Northern Interaction 2024 at the Sea of Okhotsk on Friday, with all training objectives achieved.
The Chinese and Russian sides held a closing ceremony to end the joint drills on the Chinese guided missile destroyer. The joint military exercise spanned 17 days, during which Chinese and Russian naval forces collaborated in planning, commanding and executing drills across 2 phases. This included live firings of shipborne weapons such as anti-aircraft missiles, rocket depth charges and secondary armament, successfully achieving the exercise's objective. One Chinese officer who participated in the exercise stated that the exercise achieved innovative breakthroughs in organization, command and force integration, reaching new heights in joint operations and real combat. The officer added that with the excellent military qualities and high training levels, troops from both sides successfully completed all scheduled subjects including alert defense and firepower strikes, noting that while exchanging the military skills, they also deepened friendship and mutual trust.
A total of 150 million people or 15 million households will benefit from the mortgage rate cut across China, saving them 150 billion yuan or $21.39 billion of expenditure annually.
China's central bank on Sunday requested commercial banks to lower interest rates for existing home loans as the country aims to lower financial burdens on property owners. The mortgage rates for first homes, second homes and more are required to be reduced no lower than 30 basis points below the loan prime rate LPR by October 31, 2024. In principle, 18 national commercial banks need to release their plans for adjustments before October 12th. Analysts say the cut will boost consumer sentiment and prop up the property market. The central bank also announced a cut in the reserve requirement ratio RRR by 0.5 percentage points for financial institutions on Friday. Experts say these policies will help retain the profit margins of banks as they will prevent more residents from prepaying their loans.
Increased investment potential in Malaysia's halal industry as well as closer cooperation in the field of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAV, public health and safety.
According to Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid, 40 Chinese companies has shown a strong commitment to invest in Malaysia. Welcoming the initiative, Khairul Azwan Harun, the chairman of Halal Development Corporation Berhad, HDC, described the needs for improvements in the existing halal industrial park facilities in several states in Malaysia. These improvements are necessary in preparation to receive potential investment from China. Malaysia and China are continuing to explore new business opportunities, particularly in the field of unmanned aerial vehicles UAV for the regional market, aiming to introduce a Malaysian-made product to the global market. This is hoped to be achieved through technology transfer, training of the local workforce, and manufacturing installation at the University of Kuala Lumpur UniKL, starting as early as next month. He also witnessed the signing of Memorandum of Understanding MOU between Mara Aerospace and Technology Sdn Berhad and Honeycomb Aerospace Technology Beijing Co. Limited. Additionally, a Memorandum of Agreement MOA was signed between National University of Malaysia UKM, Camp Partner Pharmatech Co. Limited and Pharma Medical Sdn Berhad to establishment a Malaysia-China halal medical hub that is believed to benefit the communities in both countries. The Global Public Security Cooperation Forum, which he also attended, aims to improve public security cooperation with a focus on 4 areas including border security.
Malaysia set to lead Asian in AI development through strategic partnerships. Google to build $2 billion data center and cloud region in the country.
Malaysia will forge partnerships with industry leaders and enhance cooperation among stakeholders to position itself as a leading artificial intelligence AI-driven nation in ASEAN. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim emphasized that digitalization in ASEAN is one of Malaysia's priorities as the country prepares to assume the chair of the economic group. This approach aims to foster a regulatory environment that encourages technological advancement and nurtures cross-border collaboration. Attending the groundbreaking ceremony of global search giant Google's data center in Malaysia on Tuesday, Anwar said the country aims to position itself as a hub of generative AI and has outlined key goals for the next 12 months. To position Malaysia as a competitive player in the global AI landscape, the government has established the National Artificial Intelligence Office to coordinate all initiatives related to AI technology. Anwar said the government would also expedite AI adoption across key sectors in Malaysia, emphasizing that embracing this technology would help government agencies optimize processes, reduce costs, and serve the people better. Highlighting the benefits of AI in public services, Anwar pointed to the Education Ministry's platform powered by Google's cloud technology, which serves 5.5 million students and teachers. The initiative has made a major contribution to improving education standards and transforming the learning experience.
Experts say heavy rains are linked to climate change-induced irregular weather patterns.
The death toll in the landslide and flooding caused by the recent non-stop rainfall has reached 221, while the number of those gone missing stands at 25. The Home Ministry spokesperson of Nepal said that 143 individuals have sustained injuries due to the natural disaster. All security agencies are actively engaged in search, rescue and relief operations. So far, 4,331 people have been rescued from affected areas. Nepal is experiencing significant shifts in rainfall patterns due to climate change, with meteorologists warning of increasingly intense rain events. Experts in disaster management stress the urgent need for flood-resistant infrastructure to mitigate potential risks. On Saturday, Kathmandu Valley shattered rainfall records across 9 centers, with Lalitpur's Chapagwan receiving an unprecedented 323 millimeters in just 24 hours. This record-breaking event occurred at the end of the monsoon season, contrary to the typical peak in July. The heavy rains were attributed to a substantial weather system from the Bay of Bengal, which the Department of Hydrology and Meteorology has linked to climate change-induced irregular weather patterns. A senior flood expert highlights that Kathmandu's mountainous geography traps moisture-laden air, increasing the likelihood of a heavy rainfall and flooding. A disaster management expert emphasizes that infrastructure must be constructed with a keen awareness of flood risks. The recent disasters have exposed weaknesses in government disaster preparedness mechanisms, prompting calls for improved planning and greater public awareness to enhance community resilience against future flooding. As the risks escalate, the need for proactive measures and community engagement in disaster preparedness has never been more critical.
Forensic investigators have started collecting evidence from the ill-fated double-decked coach that caught fire today, killing 22 school students and 3 teachers in Thailand in the outskirts of the capital, Bangkok.
Officials were seen erecting temporary scenes around the wreckage to facilitate the forensic work, which will include the identification of the victims' bodies. They are mapping the seating plan on the coach to help identify the bodies, as most were burned beyond recognition. The coach was carrying 44 passengers, including 6 teachers and 38 school children, when the accident happened. 16 passengers, 3 teachers and 13 students managed to escape the fire.
An emerging technology which generates nighttime solar energy could power some appliances while we sleep within 5 years. The science community has hailed the invention as a major breakthrough for renewable energy production.
Solar power as we know it is about to change from daytime to nighttime, all thanks to a new piece of technology. This device can produce electricity even after the sun has set.
We're super fortunate to have this sitting here at the University of New South Wales.
Scientists are now able to harness the power of radiation off warm surfaces.
So any time you point an infrared camera at something and you see, oh, that is glowing, we can put our semiconductor device onto that surface and we can generate power from it.
It's the first time anyone in the world has proven it's possible.
What we've done at the moment could power a wristwatch from your own body heat.
Still in its infancy, the technology can only generate around 100,000 times less than that supplied by a solar panel.
Because this was really like the first experimental demonstration, it wasn't that we, were trying to reach the maximum possible efficiency.
If you wanted to put this on your roof and power meaningful appliances, then you'd be able to maybe power your Wi-Fi at night from this.
Thermal imaging cameras show how much radiation there is at night. The next phase of development looks at how nighttime solar will charge satellites in space.
There's a little more optimizing to do before maybe it's useful terrestrially, but we are working to get these on a spacecraft, a satellite in the next couple of years.
Digby Worthmoller, ABC News, Sydney.
That's it for this week. Have a pleasant day ahead. Bye-bye.
Creating a news agenda that reflects an unbiased view of Asian current affairs without relying on external news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.
ಮಗುಮತಿಗೆ ಸಲಾಮತ ರಕ್ಕಾತಿರಿಕ ಮಂಗೆದಿಫಾವಾ ಕವಾದುತಕ ಸಮಾಲು ವೆಲವ್ವ ಫಿಹಾರತಕ ಮಿಸ್ಕಿತವ್ವಣ್ಣ ದೊರು ಬಂದುವಾಗುತ್ತ ಪಾಕು ನುಕುರವ್ವ ಉಳಂದೆಗ್ ಓವರ್ಟೇಕ್ ಕುರಾಯರು ಓವರ್ಟೇಕ್ ಕುರುಮುಗೆ ಕವಾದುತಕ ಸಮಾಲು ವೆಲವ್ವ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಲಿಮಿಟವುರೆ ಬಾರಣ್ಣುದುವ್ವ ದುವ್ವಾಯಿರು ಫೋನಾ ಹೆಡ್ಫೋನ್ ಫದ ತಕಿತಿ ಬೇಣು ನುಕುರವ್ವ ಮಗು ಹುರಸ್ಕುರ ಮೀಹುಣ್ಣ ಮಗು ಹುರಸ್ಕುರುಮ ಫುರುಸದು ದೆವ್ವ ಸ್ಯಾಕಲುಗ ಬೊಡಿತಿ ಎಚ್ಚೆಹಿ ನೂಫುಲ್ಲವ ಮಗುಮಚ್ಚಕಿ ಎಮ್ಮೆಂಗೆ ತಣೆ ಮಗುಮತೀಗ ಎಮ್ಮೆಂಗೆ ಸಲಾಮತ ರಕ್ಕಾತಿರಿಕಮ ವಿಸ್ನವ ಫರುದಿ ಜಿಮ್ಮಾ ಅದಾಕುರವ್ವ
ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸೋದಂಗ್ ಅಣ್ಣಮುಂದ ಬದಲ್ತಕ ತರಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ಮಶ್ರೂತಂಗ್ ಹಿಂಗಾ ನುಹಿಂಗಾ ಗೊತ್ಗೆ ಮೌಲುಮಾತ ಆಮು ರೈತುನ್ನ ಮುಹಿಮುವಾನೆ ಮಿಕಂಕಂಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಫಹುಗೆ ತಫ್ಸೀಲಿ ಮೌಲುಮಾತು ಗೆನಿಸ್ತೇನಿ ಮಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮು
ಇಜ್ತಿಮಾಯಿ ರಕ್ಕಾತ್ರಿಕಂ ಕಶವರ್ ಕುರ್ಮಟ್ಟಕ ಅಮಿಲ ಫರಾತಕ ಜಮಿಯಾತಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರಂ ಕುಳವಾ ಮಸೆಕತ್ತವಗ ಮೌಲುಮಾತುಸ್ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ತಫ್ಸೀಲಾಕಿ ಗೆನಿಸ್ತೇನಿ ರಾಜಕೀಯದು
ಸಿಯಾಸಿ ಮಸ್ರಹುಗ ಬದಲುಮುಂ ಅಣ್ಣ ಹಾಲತ ಸಿಯಾಸಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿತ ಕುಂಕುರಮುಂ ಅಣ್ಣ ಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆತ್ತ ರೈತುಂಗೆ ಮಜಿಲುಗೆ ಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆತ್ತಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರುನ್ ತಂಫಿಸ್ಕುರಮುಂದ ಸಿಯಾಸತ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ಮೌಲುಮಾತುತ ತೆಬೆಫುಣ್ಣ ಹಮೆಯಂ ಅಡ್ಗುಮೆಂ ಗೆನಿಸ್ತೇನಿ ಎಕಂಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಇಸ್ ದೇಫುಳು ಮೆತ್ಬೇಕು
එවගුතෙක් රාජ්‍යක මස්ටහුම් පහක් වලවේ خبر معلومات එම්ම තෆ්සීල් දෙවතෙක් තිබේ ෆුන්නා හැම ගෙනස්තුරුමකි අලගුණුමෙන්ගේ මස්සූලියත මිකන් කුරුමට්ටක අලගුණුමෙන් තිබේ ෆුන්නා හැම ගෙනස්